In 1881, the merchant ship Ellen Austin was sailing toward New York when a thick Atlantic fog swallowed the horizon. When the air cleared, the crew spotted a vessel drifting aimlessly. Boarding parties found the ship undamaged and the cargo secure, yet the decks were silent. Every soul on board had vanished. Captain Griffin saw a fortune in the abandoned hold. He ordered a small crew of his most experienced sailors to board the find and navigate it alongside the Ellen Austin to port. A sudden storm tore through the coordinates, forcing the ships apart. When Griffin finally relocated the vessel days later, he found a terrifying repetition. The cargo remained, but his second crew had also disappeared. These men were never seen again. This early tragedy fueled a maritime fear that would persist for generations. The idea of an invisible force capable of erasing humans without leaving evidence of a struggle. By 1945, that fear reached the world of military aviation. On December 5th, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, designated Flight 19, departed Florida for a routine training mission over the shoals. Mid-flight, the squadron leader reported that his compasses were failing. He told controllers he was unable to determine his direction or even distinguish the horizon. His final transmissions described the water below turning strange shades of white before the radio went completely dead. A PBM Mariner rescue plane, carrying 13 crew members and specialized search equipment, launched immediately to find them. It flew into the same coordinates and vanished as quickly as the bombers it was sent to save. These high-profile disappearances defined the geographic boundaries of a 500,000 square mile zone. By connecting Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, a shape emerged that suggested a predatory logic to the Atlantic. The sheer scale of these losses left the public searching for a cause. If the ocean wasn't merely dangerous, but specifically hostile within these lines, then some unknown force had to be responsible. The modern branding of this region as a triangle began in the 1960s. Pulp writers and journalists started packaging these historical maritime accidents into a single cohesive mystery to drive magazine sales. They clustered tragedies separated by many decades and hundreds of miles, creating the illusion of a localized trap. By framing these events as part of the same phenomenon, they sparked a global obsession with the supernatural. In 1975, a counter-investigation by Larry Kush revealed that many of these accounts were based on selective reporting. He found that writers often omitted the presence of documented hurricanes or known mechanical failures to make the disappearances seem more eerie. This narrative engineering turned a series of disconnected shipwrecks into a lucrative media franchise. The Bermuda Triangle became a household name, even as the specific details of the cases were being debunked. There are grounded, physical reasons why navigators lose their way here. This globe highlights the gap between true north, the geographic pole, and magnetic north, which guides a compass. Sailors call this difference magnetic variation. In this specific corridor of the Atlantic, those 2 points overlap. For early navigators who failed to adjust for this alignment, their compasses would lead them miles off course, straight into the reefs of the Bahamas. This explains navigation errors, but not the sudden loss of ships. For that, we have to look at the seafloor, where massive pockets of methane gas are trapped under high pressure. When these pockets rupture, a violent surge of gas bubbles rushes to the surface. This aerated water cannot support a hull's weight. A ship caught in the middle of a methane eruption will drop vertically into the ocean as if the water itself had disappeared. These occurrences are rare, but they are the result of geological mechanics. They provide a natural explanation for ships that sink instantly without leaving any floating debris behind. The sky above the triangle presents its own hazards. Recent satellite observations have identified unusual hexagonal-shaped clouds that form over the region during specific weather cycles. These formations act as atmospheric air bombs. They generate microbursts that blast air downward at 170 miles per hour, creating a localized wall of wind that hits the water with the force of an explosion. These downward blasts are capable of swamping a vessel or forcing a low-flying aircraft into the sea. In seconds, they also generate rogue waves that can reach heights of 100 feet, appearing and vanishing without warning. The atmosphere in this zone is capable of producing extreme localized weather events. For a pilot caught in one of these air bombs, there is no time to radio for help or recover their altitude. This chart compares the accident rate within the triangle to other busy shipping lanes around the globe. The data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows that the rates are equivalent. This region is no more dangerous than any other heavily trafficked part of the sea. Marine insurance companies, including Lloyd's of London, confirm this reality through their pricing. They do not charge higher premiums for ships crossing these coordinates because the statistical risk remains within normal limits. Other regions, like Japan's Dragon Triangle, see similar rates of loss due to unpredictable currents and weather. These areas simply haven't received the same level of sensational media coverage. The ocean is inherently volatile and lethal. While the mechanics of methane and magnetic variation are real, the Bermuda Triangle exists as a masterclass in human psychology, our tendency to project a legendary pattern onto a series of tragic yet random natural events.